Good morning and welcome to this live event for the introduction and webinar of the new supplier portal for Haldex and SAP Holland. Can everyone hear me in here? Good. Then my name is David Ekström and I am the VP of processes and the projects and organization here at Haldex and SAP Holland. We are today going to be launching a new platform where we will have the interaction and mainly focusing on 8D and PPAP process within the SAP Holland sites for Haldex Hungary and for Haldex Landskrona. I'll now hand over to a short quick introduction here of the rest of the team, and then we will continue the presentation and the webinar. So please, Annie and Anders and Jalmati, make a quick introduction of yourself.
Yes, hi, Anders Bengtsson, quality manager for the site here in Landskrona. We'll be mainly handling the claim part of Jakamo.
Thank you, and hi everybody. I am Anni Kujala. I represent Jakamo. I work as a customer success manager at Jakamo. Today, I will be responsible of training you to use Jakamo with Haldex.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jarl Matti Anttila. I'm a creative leader and one of the founders of Jakamo. And here, I'm glad to be here to answer your questions if you have any questions. So I'm here for that. Great to see you all here.
So then let's move on here with today's agenda. We will go over the objectives here, and then we will start to go an quick introduction to the platform itself, how it's working, how you will be able to see and how we will be able to communicate and work with the PPAP and the APQP process and the 8D. And then how we're going to take the next steps and then eventual questions from all of you to all of us here in the presentation. So please, Annie, let's continue with the next one here.
Yes.
So we have at the Haldex or SAP Holland here starting to gathering all the data into one format of or one platform where we can keep a good track of all the things of the cost savings, the raw material changes, the delivery precision, and example also the projects on how we run the projects, and also the potential deviations we have in delivered of material in terms of quality issues. We will also add another formula later on here for the environmental and the ESG that will come here by the end or beginning of next year. And that's also to comply with all the new regulations in Europe that will come in force here in beginning of 2024. And while doing this, we believe that we will have all the data available, and we will also be able to communicate easier on the terms of the performance of SAP Holland Haldex and within the supply chain, and also have a better control over all the data. And in the end, we will have a better situation within the supply or sourcing and supply chain organization at Haldex and spend more time working together with you instead of tracking data. So that is the overall objective, and that all the data should be available within the supply chain organization at the touch of a button. So please, Anne, with further ado, let's start the introduction of the platform itself.
Yes, thank you, David. Let's move forward. Today's goal from Jakamo's perspective is to provide you understanding of what Jakamo is, how to use it with your customer Haldex, and how you can independently take an advantage out of the platform. We will start now with short slide set of general introduction of Jakamo as a product and as a company, and I will highlight some benefits of the platform for you as a suppliers too. I have 2 slides to go through. Let's spend around 5 to 10 minutes in the presentation, and then rest of the training webinar, let's concentrate on Jakamo user interface demonstration on a browser. We will do a quick walkthrough of Jakamo, what can be found there and where, and then we will get to know the applications you will start to use with Haldex in upcoming weeks. Those are master data claims application for handling ADs and engineering changes applications for handling PPAPs. And I would like to remind you, as David said, there is an opportunity to ask questions anonymously during this webinar on this question and answer or Q&A section. There is this kind of question mark inside these kind of bubbles. So please ask anything that comes to your mind. And me and David, Thomas and Anders will read the questions out loud and also then at the end of the webinar. So feel free to ask questions at any time. But okay. Yes. Let's start with short introduction of Jakamo. Jakamo is the supplier experience platform. You may call it also supplier portal or supplier platform. Jakamo is a place to share information between customer and supplier. And our platform is designed for manufacturing industry and for companies interacting in this industry field. Jakamo gathers all the data, information, and discussions between customer and supplier to one platform and solves the problem of scattered, outdated information between different parties throughout the supply chain. Jakamo platform covers holistically the most of the supply chain processes that are executed between customer and supplier, including, for example, claims, engineering changes, POs, RFQs, audits, shared assets, supplier master data, as an example. Jakamo is a software as a service solution, and it's built on Microsoft Azure. We have over 3,000 user companies using the platform already, and most of them are operating as a suppliers in Jakamo. So typical Jakamo user is using Jakamo via browser at the jakamo.com. It's the page where you can log into Jakamo. And of course, another way, in addition to use Jakamo via browser, is via some automatized integration, which means that master system is somewhere else, for example, in ERP, and information that is there will be automatically synced with Jakamo. So there's 2 options how to use Jakamo, but typical way is to use only via browser. Jakamo's heart is that network of the companies that use Jakamo. In Jakamo, each company can be the center of its own network. On the other words, company can utilize one Jakamo account to serve one or multiple customers or suppliers through that same platform and same account. It's a new way of thinking, for example, compared to more traditional way of how we understand supplier portals, where companies may have own company-specific platforms and suppliers need to have access to multiple different platforms instead of one to serve their customers. And for example, this network and networking logic we have in Jakamo is protected with that US patent that as announced here on the slide. Jakamo as a company is a Finnish software company, and we have around 20 personnel around Finland. Jakamo is established in 2012, and latest 3 years we have grown about 50% each year. And here on the right, you can see a couple of merits we have achieved. For example, we have that patent I mentioned, and also we are Microsoft's preferred solution for supplier collaboration. That is a quick, short introduction of what Jakamo is. And today's mission for us is to provide you steps for easy onboarding of Jakamo and ability for quick start of usage. So here is listed some benefits for supplier companies using Jakamo that I want to highlight to you, especially today. So because Jakamo is the supplier experience platform, it is then designed to serve you also as a supplier, as well as in addition to serve customer companies. So we see suppliers and customers as equal users of the platform. And let's shortly go through these highlights. First of all, Jakamo is always free of charge for you as a supplier. Basic use is always completely free for you. You can add the necessary number of users you need to your account in Jakamo and connect with as many companies as you want or need in Jakamo. All Jakamo features that you are required to use with your customer, Haldex, or other customer, they are always free of charge for you. And I guess that we have plenty of totally new companies here today without any touch of Jakamo before. So all new companies that will register in Jakamo will have this kind of 30-day trial period with better features, such as better reporting options or wider search functionalities. And after that trial period, Jakamo will ask you if you want to continue using Jakamo with these better features or continue with free basic use. And I emphasize that Jakamo can also be used without any problems with that free basic version. So you are able to choose then after 30 days that you will continue with basic plan. So it's always free of charge for you. The second highlight is that Jakamo is easy to take into use. Company account is something you need to create. It's easy to set up. I will show you how to create account later. And Jakamo use is done via browser. So we do not require any software installations or integrations or anything. Jakamo is used at jakamo.com, and daily use of Jakamo is therefore easy for you because only requirement is modern browser in use. Third highlight is that Jakamo has intuitive user interface, and we continuously develop our user guides for all Jakamo users. So our user interface is designed to be intuitive, simple, and easy to use. So I guarantee that after this webinar, you are ready to use Jakamo without any additional trainings. Of course, help is always available if you have any questions related to Jakamo. We have published Jakamo user guide this summer for all Jakamo users, which include general instructions and tutorial videos how to use Jakamo. So it's free to use and utilize by you, and it can be found in support.jakamo.com. Fifth highlight is that Jakamo provides real-time, transparent, and secure information sharing with your customers. Jakamo brings structure and transparency to open tasks and discussions between parties throughout the supply chain. Sharing information in Jakamo is secure, transparent, and real-time, and it's more secure, transparent, and real-time than, for example, if these things are shared via email. Information related to HDs or PPAPs or information related to supplier information itself will be no longer shared by email, which guarantees that things will be shared only amongst the correct people. All the data, statuses, files, discussions are visible transparently in the same view for both parties. for you and customer, and both of the parties can make, for example, decisions based on real-time information. And Jakamo will be the place where you are able to see the information and discussion history with your customer. So in the future, conversations, agreed matters, or changes will be saved in Jakamo, and they will not remain in some individuals' emails or folders or somewhere else where no one can find the information easily. So it's easy to process tasks of colleagues in Jakamo. Where, for example, if your colleague is out of office, the data is also not deleted with the user, even if the person leaves the company. So all the history will remain in Jakamo. And wherever your colleagues, customers, or even your suppliers are, they have the same access to all the information available. Second last bullet point here is that Jakamo's shared environment ensures to serve multiple customers in the same platform. So as mentioned, there are currently over 3,000 companies registered on Jakamo's platform, which means that there are opportunities to build up your own network by connecting with other Jakamo companies. So you can freely use Jakamo also with other business partners you have, or for example, even your own suppliers if they use Jakamo. So in Jakamo, it's easy to search other companies that already use Jakamo, or invite totally new companies to use Jakamo with you. And latest or last but not least highlight is that Jakamo, because Jakamo is the supplier experience platform, we include suppliers' approach to our development things, and it's always included that point of view on our development. Our platform is development continuously, and new features are released on weekly basis. And because our standard platform, it means that all companies that use Jakamo will use the same platform, and for example, customers and suppliers use the same content in the same way in Jakamo. So we have only one version of Jakamo available for everyone, so you are guaranteed that you are always using the latest and newest version of Jakamo. I hope that you see this point as an opportunity for you to serve your customer better and also get some benefit for your daily businesses too. And now I think we are ready to jump to the Jakamo platform itself and start the actual demonstration. So let's start with how you can register to Jakamo. I will share another screen. I hope that now it's visible, this kind of, yes, it is. Okay. I think that there are now plenty of companies that Jakamo is new thing, and you don't have any company account in Jakamo or any kind of accounts available. And this is the first thing needed to be done to do the company registration to Jakamo. You don't need to take care of how you can end up this kind of registration form. Your daily Haldex contact will send you invitation via email, so you will receive email invite with link that direct you this kind of company profile registration page during this week. So shortly after the webinar, you are expected to receive some email from Haldex that provides you access to create a company profile for your company to Jakamo. And it looks like this. And this is the only information you need to fill in to be able to start to use Jakamo. So first, you need to fill in company information. You can see these basic information needs to be filled with star. They are mandatory information. For example, define the industry you are operating or your company is operating. Here you can see this kind of tick box. It means that you have received this invitation from your customer Haldex, and by having this tick box selected, it means that you will automatically also connect with Haldex while you accomplish this registration. So I recommend it to keep this tick box selected. Then you will also at the same time create first user of your company. So you will create a user account for yourself. So here you can see that you need to fill in your personal information and create your personal password here. So email address will be the username you will be logged into Jakamo, and here you will create password to log in with that email address. You can take a look at our terms and conditions and privacy policy here, and after you have look at them or went them through, you can accept these and save the profile. And after that, you will be direct to Jakamo login page. So it should be quite simple to do the first registration. And if I jump here you can see the Jakamo login page. Just mentioned, I am now in our test environment, which means that I am not in actual live environment, but our test environment. So the correct address is without this demo word here. So it's the jakamo.com. But everything looks exactly the same. So it's easy to demonstrate everything because they look exactly the same. And here you can see the login page. Here I have my example email to log in, and I have created my password, and I just log in here. And now I am inside Jakamo. We will go through first a couple of things I recommend you to do as a first task after you have registered to Jakamo. Then we take a short look what else can be found in Jakamo, and after that let's see those applications you will use with Haldex at the first phase. Now, after I have signed in, I am now in user dashboard of Jakamo. Here you can see that I am on the dashboard and user dashboard. On the left corner, you can see that now I am logged in as a supplier called Malmo Metal Product AB, and my name is Linnea Svensson, so I am user of Malmo Metal Product AB. Here you can see this kind of ID of your Jakamo company, and this is unique for every company that is registered to Jakamo. And this is something that you can identify your company, or for example, if you know your customers' Jakamo IDs, it's easy to search by this ID because it's unique for every company. Once you have logged in, you will land this kind of user dashboard, and this is the view, overall view for you. What actions, activities, tasks, responsibilities is related to your user account in Jakamo. So this is quite good, like a summary view for you. You can easily see what is going on in Jakamo related to your user. Of course, first time when you log in, this user dashboard is quite empty, but after some time when usage have been started, there will be some actions and tasks and responsibilities for you too. Here you can see, for example, recent activities. For example, some new items have been created or some new status updates for existing items have been done here. Then there is this kind of my tasks. my responsibilities, and these are direct links overall for Jakamo. For example, my mention is that if there is some discussions inside Jakamo where you have been mentioned, there will be visible some comments. You can just click and see the whole discussion. Or for example, if some items, for example, new AT item is assigned to you, to be as your responsibility, it will be listed here, and it's easy to find anything that is related to you. Of course, there is also notifications that can be sent out to your personal email from Jakamo, so it's no need to log time to time to Jakamo and see if there is something new for you. Jakamo will automatically also notify you about new stuff in Jakamo, so you don't need to worry that you miss something. You will always get also email notification about new activities in Jakamo. But let's start things I recommend you to do first. You have create company account and logged in first time. First thing I recommend you to do is to check your company profile. You can find from this extra setting menu here your company profile in Jakamo. And this company profile includes basic information about your company, and I recommend to check this once again and fill in if there is something you want to add more information, for example, your website or dance number or some additional address information. It's easy to edit. Here on the top of the page, you can find edit company info. If you want to add your company logo, it's possible to do also in the My Company page. And this company profile is something that is shared with your customer once you have connected with them in Jakamo. So I recommend to keep this up to date so that, for example, your customer or other business partner you use Jakamo with see the updated information here. At the bottom of this My Company profile, you can see also your company users. And I recommend you to first thing to add all the necessary users you think that would need access to Jakamo. For example, all the people that take care of Haldex account or handle some things related to Haldex. It's free of charge for you, so you can add as many users as you want to. And easiest way is to just use this add user on the company profile. If I click here add user, you can see that only thing you need is your colleague's email address. You can fill in here. And define which kind of role they have. Company admin is something that have all the access and rights in Jakamo, for example, to add new users, add new relationships, manage some Jakamo company level settings. And member have limited rights. For example, they cannot add new users to your company account or create new relationships with other companies, but they can also see same content. There is no limitation for visibility, so you can determine the role of the company or colleague you are inviting. You can add as many colleagues you want to, and please invite to your company only your colleagues, because if you invite someone else outside of your company, that person will also see all the information you have in your Jakamo account. So please take care of that. Only your colleagues will be invited to your company account in Jakamo. But after you have defined the email address and role, you might want to write some short message to them. And when you click send, you will send this kind of user registration email with a link that your colleague can follow and do the short registration for themselves to be able to log into your company account also. So that is the first thing I recommended to do. Check your company profile information, keep them up to date, and check your company users and add all the necessary people you want to have the access to Jakamo and things that Haldex will share with you in the future. Then I recommended you to check network. Network was the heart of the Jakamo, and it will be the place where you can gather all the business relationship you want to establish in Jakamo. And here you can see, for example, my this imaginary supplier here have now 2 customers connected in Jakamo, this kind of Anders Corporation and Haldex Brake Products AB. So the thing I want you to check is that you have Haldex here under your customer list. This means that now you have connection with them, and you are, for example, if I click the name, you can see Haldex company profile, you can see their information here, and once Haldex is here, it means that you are able to share content with them. Without this relationship, you are not able to do anything with your customer in Jakamo. The third thing is that you can find here this kind of master data button. There can be that it's not available, but for example with Haldex it is, because Haldex will store their supplier master data in Jakamo, which means that they have profile for each supplier in Jakamo in their master data, and they will share that data with you, that's what they have about your company. And you can see that information by clicking the master data. So here you can see what kind of data Haldex have about your company, and this consists of 2 parts. There is relational data updated by customer, which means that there is information that is updated by customer, and you are able to see the content, but you cannot edit the content by yourself. Of course, you can contact Haldex and ask if there is something you want to correct. But this is something, for example, here is some supplier numbers, vendor numbers, names, some information to which Haldex units you are supplying to, some Haldex responsible user contact information, some audit information available, for example, and agreed payment terms per unit or delivery terms by unit, for example. And if I scroll a little bit down, then there is relational data updated by supplier section. So this means that these fields are defined by Haldex, so they want to keep track about, for example, supplier contact persons, and this is information that you are able to modify also. And I recommend you, as a first thing, to call this relational data updated by supplier section true, and correct, fill in all the information that can be filled here, so that this is up to date. For example, different contact persons, for example, you can add sales representative information just easily here. Just add new person, and you can fill in their personal information and contact information there. Then there is other general information you are able to fill in, for example, ownership of your company, your major customers, key products, some economical things, and documents. This is something that is important. You are now able to keep the documents you will be shared with Haldex up to date. You can see the latest versions you have shared with Haldex here. For example, here is some examples. These are some files that have been downloaded to Jakamo by the supplier. There is a possibility to replace the file, for example, by clicking the replace the file if you want to update some files. You can add description if you want to give more information about this document. For example, here is no file yet, so it's easy to just choose file from your computer, for example, and add all the necessary files here. And these files are then visible for you and your company users, and also Haldex and all the users at Haldex side. And here are save button. So after you have done all the things that you want to update and modify, then remember to save the changes. So this information will be immediately updated also for you and Haldex. Is there something that, David, you want to add about this master data and information you require to suppliers to add here?
I think the key thing here is that this will make the data transparent and visible. These are the data that we have, and this is the latest version of the ISO TS certificate as an example. So that we from both sides know that this is the one that the date when it expires, and this is the one where we know we have been shared. So if there needs to be updates of those type of documents, then that needs to be done on time, as an example. So the whole point is to make the data visible within the supply chain. So make sure we all have the same understanding.
That's right. Okay, so now we have gone through the 3 steps I recommend you to do. Check your company profile in Jakamo, add necessary users to your company account, and check your network that you have a connection with Haldex. Then fill in the master data that is available for you, shared by Haldex. If you don't find Haldex here, you have account in Jakamo, but do not have connection with Haldex, it's easy to just, for example, use here find companies functionality, and you are able to just search by name, and you can find Haldex brake products AB. Here you can see that it's connected, but if for example, I want to connect with Cut Steel Inc., there is a possibility to just request relation and set that this company is our customer. You can type short message and send the relation request, and after that, users on the customer side, Jakamo, will be notified that you want to connect with them in Jakamo, and they can accept the invitation.
So here, I think it's also worth to mention that it goes for deliveries to both Haldex Hungary and Haldex Landskrona, and they are both listed under Haldex Brake Products AB here.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there could be. Yeah.
So if you only deliver to Haldex Hungary, as an example, it's still Haldex Brake Products AB that's going to be connected to here.
Yes.
Then of course
there is
you can use it to reach out to other companies using this platform as well, and to add them in here if you want to. So feel free to kind of also look for other companies outside and utilize this if you want to.
Yes, and I think that is good to mention that there is only one account for Haldex, and also it's our recommendation that each company in Jakamo have only one account. So there should not be 5 different Haldex brake products, maybe company account, but only one, and inside that one account can be multiple sites, multiple units that use Jakamo. Okay, then I can show a couple of things, settings that you can set. Let's shortly go through how you can update your user interface language. For example, if you don't want to use Jakamo in English, let's quickly see the notification settings and also how you can get help if you face some issues or problems when you use Jakamo. And after that, let's concentrate on our applications and PPAP and AT processes and how to handle them in Jakamo. But let's shortly go through under your own name. For example, here, Minna Svensson, you can set your user interface language on my profile. Please keep your personal information up to date. For example, your email address and phone number. These are something that your customer, for example, can check here. That if they need to call you, they can find this phone number from Jakamo, for example. It's possible to edit the information freely, and here you can see the language section, and we have a couple of language, user interface language you can use. If there is some else language than English, you prefer to use Jakamo. So it can be done behind my profile. Also, I recommend you to set your region and time zone because this time zone information define in which time you will see timestamps in Jakamo. So as a default, all Jakamo users are Central European time, but if you are like somewhere else than that time zone, I recommend you to update this, for example, Europe and Stockholm if needed, and it will change the timestamps in Jakamo to that time. And remember to save the changes with your current password, so these edits will be published. Then there's these notifications I mentioned earlier that you will be receive as a default emails from Jakamo, and as a default you will receive this type of email digest 3 times a day. So 3 times a day you will have summary of activities that has happened in Jakamo, and you will have direct links to the content that is shared with you. So it's easy to use that email notification to go correct places, directly correct places in Jakamo. Of course, you can remove times, add times, or select that you will have separate emails immediately when something happened in Jakamo. So you don't need to wait to certain time, but you will get notifications immediately. We have quite good instructions how to set these application specific notifications, so I don't go these that much through. Just to mention that these applications that you will start to use with Haldex claims and engineering changes are something that you might want to manage for yourself. Behind this blue relationship, you can select which customers you want to follow, which means that which customers you want to receive notification if they share something with you. For example, claims, HDs, I can set that only notifications only for Haldex brake products, AP content that is shared with me. Then worth to mention is this 3 three tick boxes here. These three are for email notifications. So I recommend you to, if you want to remove this dashboard, this is for dashboard notifications that we first took a look. So these three you can keep or take unselect these, but these or last three I recommend you to keep selected. These are which kind of events you will receive notifications via email, and at least I recommend you to keep these new items selected, so you will always get notified when something new is shared with you in Jakamo. Of course, if there is some edits or discussions, it would be good to have email notification also for those, but at least for new items. And if you do some changes to your notification settings, there is save changes button. So I recommend that you remember to push this save changes to have these edits up to date. For notification settings and all other things in Jakamo, you can get help and instructions via this help and support page you can find. And for example, here is direct link to that user guide I mentioned earlier. I have this user guide open here. So for example, for those notifications, they are under user settings notifications. You can see both written instructions and also short tutorial video how to set up your notifications correctly in Jakamo. Or for example, it helps how to connect with other companies in Jakamo. It can be found under the network, and there is this create relation. There is a short tutorial video and written instructions how to do it. So please feel free to use this user guide to if there's something that you face some problem or you don't know how something works. Okay, I think that we can move to Jakamo application and people handled in Jakamo. And I am now in apps section, and here you can see all the applications that Jakamo provides to companies that can be used as customers or suppliers. And these are standard applications, and they are looking quite similar with each other. And as you can see, these names quite well tells to which process this application is dedicated. And the applications we will go through today is claims and engineering changes. And maybe we can start on claims application. This is dedicated at Haldex point of view to handle HDs with you. And both of the applications, claims and engineering changes, will consist of this kind of list view, where you can see all the HDs, all the content which is shared with you via Jakamo. Here you can see two different tabs. So now I am here in received tab, which will be listed all the received HDs. Of course, you can see now that there is no items found, which means that I have not shared by myself anything with other. I have only received content via Jakamo. There is also possibility to, for example, filter if you want to find only HDs that are set as your responsibility. It's also possible to filter like that. and also possible to search, for example, by the title of the AT. From the list view, you can see, for example, different statuses that these ATs can be, and if there is something you are able to do as a supplier for that AT, there is a list view process button available, but of course I recommend you to open that specific AT to see the more detailed information about the AT. And let's see, I think that this is the good example. Now I am in the view of single AT. This layout of one individual item is quite similar, for example, with PPAPs. So there is the same elements. For example, you can see this sharing block. You can see who has created this AT and to whom this is shared with. For example, now it's shared with my company. And the top of the page, you can, if you want to, there is a possibility to download this AT as a PDF if you need. And if I scroll a little bit down, here you can see the process that can be done in Jakamo. So this is now started to progress, but before, when this new AT is created by Haldex, the status is waiting for response, so it waits something that I as a supplier will do. I can start as a supplier to process this claim, or I just clicking this in progress status, or here you can find this kind of process button, which will open this kind of template you can fill in according to predefined sections. Let's go this through later. Let's take a look at the whole individual AT first. And now you can see that there is this kind of time tracking also. So Jakamo will track time, for example, how long this AT will be in different statuses. For example, this has been now like 23 hours in progress, and it's waiting my completion. And this will be updated to completed once I have processed this in Jakamo and sent my answer to Haldex via Jakamo. And Haldex can then evaluate my response and either accept or reject my response. And if it's accepted, of course, the status will be updated to accepted, or if my response will be rejected, it will be return this AT to in progress, and it requires me to fill my response. If I scroll a little bit down, here you can see some basic information about this specific AT. For example, when this has been created, some reference information if there's such, and for example currency if it's determined. Then you can see users, and author is always the creator of this AT. For example, now it's Julia Jansson from Haldex. And as a supplier, you are also able to edit the responsible user. For example, if you want to set you or your colleague as a responsible of this AT, and I recommend that someone is responsible of that item, so that, for example, your customers see and your colleagues see who is responsible user of that AT. And Jakamo knows all the users that you have and your customer have, so it's easy to just click and select responsible users by clicking. And this means that now, for example, I am responsible user. So despite my personal notification settings I have set here. I will always be notified if there is some action, activities, changes, discussion in this item. Even though if I have muted everything, if I am responsible user, I will get notified despite that. So I think it's good practice to have someone as a responsible user. Then there is this kind of tax section. It is mainly for customer company to have their own question or to provide more information about this specific AT. For example, here is some project number and categorization information. So this is something that you don't need to add or remove, but only just for your information that there can be this kind of tags available. Then under the defect info, there is more information about this specific AT, more like categorization type information and more detailed description about what this AT is about. And at the bottom, you can see this response section I shortly already showed to you, but this is something that is recommended or required for you to process. And here you can see I have filled in some descriptions here, what is required to fill in here. This is following the 8D process. So you can find, for example, you are able to fill in containment information, corrective actions and cause analysis for this specific claim. And if I scroll a little bit down, there is, for example, precautionary actions and follow-up actions that you can type here and describe. And you can add files here if necessary, or if there is some your reference numbers you want to add, it's possible to add here. You can always save and continue later, or if you feel that your response is now completed, you can save as completed, and it will update this AT as completed, and this will be announced to Haldex user that this is now completed, and they can evaluate your response. Do you, Thomas, have something to add about the process itself? If there is something Haldex specifically require some documents or anything that you want to mention about the process?
Hi, it's Anders here. I can jump in.
Yes.
The process basically follows the AT logic or approach as we expect from all our suppliers. We will put in a description when we send out the claim like this. We'll also submit the current problem-solving templates and the labels for inspected parts as we normally do. For planned actions, please use the task section where you can put in a description, deadline or responsibility and so on to follow all actions. And then finally, all communication regarding the claim should be handled in the Jakamo portal. There is a comment box if any scrolls down here. So avoid putting information in mail. Put everything here. You have everything in one place. And then finally, any questions or concerns when we start this up, please just reach out to me or any of my colleagues handling the claims.
Yes, we will show all the information detail who you can contact at the end of the webinar. Thank you, Anders. And it's it's good practicality to utilize this kind of tasks, as Anders mentioned. There can be tasks that are created by customer, and you are also able to create tasks for yourself. For example, you can. This is some do, and by setting the deadline for that specific task, Jakamo will automatically remind you that, hey, there is some task you need to do before this date, and it's easy to just update the status once you have done the necessary actions. For example, provide some materials or do something else. It's easy to, for example, update ready for review, so that the customer knows that this task has been done. And if there is any files that customer has added, you are able to add it, or any files that need to be shared via this AD. It's easy to just drag and drop here necessary files, and here you can see, for example, two different files you are able to download separately, or there is this kind of download all, which will be download all the files as a zip file for your computer. So it's practical to use. And as mentioned, each item will have this own discussion section, which is the recommended channel to communicate, agree things, ask questions. So here you can see, for example, I added a question here. So this is now available for my colleagues and then Haldex users, so everyone can see who is commented. And one practical thing is that there is this kind of eye. So of course now I mark my own comment as seen, but it's good practicality once you have, for example, seen comment, you are able to just click in the eye and it will be tracked that, okay, for example, I am now saw this comment if you don't reply anything to that comment. So it indicates to another party that you have seen the comment. And also you can see here this kind of system notes what has happened. For example, that I have 2 times processed this AD, and at this time I have marked this as complete. So this is good one view that you and your customer can transparently track the ADs and see that how everything is proceeding. Okay, let's jump to engineering changes application, where in the future PPAPs will be handled and processed. And as you can see, this kind of list view looks like similar with claims application and AT view. Here you can see in the received tab, you can see all the PPAPs you have received from your customers. And here you can see this kind of percentage mark, which means that you are able to see easily where this PPAP is going. For example, here you can see that all the tasks are completed, and this is completed, and for example, here are some progress, and these are not like started to process. And if I open, for example, this PPAP, you can see that this looks quite similar with that claim we just saw. So this is made easy for you to that these applications looks like each other. There can be this same kind of sharing block, status and time tracking, basic information, users. You are able to set also responsible users here. Tasks are available. If I scroll a little bit down, there is a similar file section and tags discussion. So you can find same elements in every application, and the process itself, PPAP process, is built with these tasks. Of course, here is like I think that this is level 5 PPAP, which consists 18 that are assigned for customer user or supplier user. And this is the process that can be now followed in Jakamo. And by completing these tasks, we'll be keeping track in which phase about this PPAP we are going. And for example, if I edit here, we can see that, for example, here are tasks for me. I can update the statuses that for tasks that are assigned to me, so I can report once I have done some actions that where this is going on. For example, if I have started to do this task 14, I can change that this is now in progress, or if I have done it, it's ready for review. Do you, Thomas, now want to complete my description about Haldex specific things about the PPAP process?
Yeah. Hi, just few comments here. Yeah. So the highlight from my side that no change in the PPAP requirement itself. That's important to highlight. The structure has been changed. As you could see, there is a element structure following all the requirement here, the previous Excel-based structure. So all those requirements points are the same. Submission level defined by the engineer, the responsible engineer in the future as today. Requesting and activating all the specific elements here which require to be uploaded. I mean, the link document uploading by the supplier. The structure itself could support us to approving elements separately and requiring kind of correction by the supplier just at the element where needs to be corrected anything. Yeah. Also, as you highlighted in the at the claims module, also the PPAP module here, I mean the engineering change module will require kind of deadlines which will be added by us, and system automatically requiring or reminding you if it's expiring. Yeah, that's all.
Yes.
Comments from my side.
Thank you. And of course, if there is like plenty of files, for example, needed to upload to this specific PPAP, there is a possibility to create folder, for example, to more easily find content that you want to share with your customer. So you can utilize that folder structure, or just upload necessary file by drag and dropping or finding files from your computer. But okay, I think that we have now went through all the things I wanted to show from Jakamo today, and I hope that now it's clear for you how to create company account, how to find content from Jakamo, what kind of settings you need to be done in the first phase when you start using Jakamo. And I think that now it's time to go back and see from the presentation what will happen next. And also, if you have questions, now it's good time to add your question to that Q&A section. If there is something that we did not answer during that demonstration. Okay, let's see what next. Do you, David, want to say something about what is happened next? I can fulfill.
Yeah, so now the invitations will be sent out here from all your normal or daily contacts. So the commodity managers that you have your daily contact, we will send the invitations to all of you. And then by the 21st here, we intend to go live with running the PPAPs and the ATs and the communication here through the platform. So these are the key things to keep an eye on, that you actually get this invitation now. And or if you don't, then please reach out to your sourcing contact or the commodity manager that you run your daily business with. You can also reach out to me or to Tamas or Anders if you have any questions. And there's also for detailed contacts about the platforms and certain things. You have Anni and the support team at Jakamo here as well to contact for those things. Is there anything else you, Tamas or Anders, want to add here into this as well?
No, nothing from me.
Nothing. So if any question in regards of the module, please free to contact us and we can support definitely.
And then Anni, should we read out the questions here as well to make sure that they are distributed? See if there are any more questions coming in here as well.
Yes. One thing I want to add is that before I can see that we have 4 questions already, and please add more if you want ask something during this webinar. We will shortly read them out loud. But one thing I want to mention that or highlight that this go live date means that by that date there should be company account for you and relation with Haldex brake products in Jakamo and necessary users added to your company account and all the data up to date, so that you are ready to start to use Jakamo by that day. Yes, but that is everything I want to highlight, and maybe we can now move to question and answer section. I think that Jarmatti or David has already answered in written form, but maybe we can read them out loud and see that who will be complete the answer in.
Yeah, so the first question here is, will communication between us and the Haldex, the supplier and Haldex, be protected without access from outside? Yes, it's always protected, and it's only the user at your company and at Haldex that can see this data in here. And Jarmatti, I don't know if you want to add something about the details of protection here when it comes to.
Yes, that's how you described it. It's always like a safe environment to have a conversation between your companies. So the supplier which is there and Haldex, only these 2 companies will see the communication. So that's always like a selective discussion. It's not open for everyone.
And I guess the only other comment that I would make here is nowadays with all the hacking that's taking place, and make sure you use a good password and not something similar like you have for other things or too easy to break. I guess that's the normal way they will go into systems if someone will hack something nowadays.
mentioned there is a possibility inside Jakamo to set some requirements for passwords. For example, you can, if you are company admin at Jakamo, you can set company level requirements, for example, length and special character requirements for passwords. So of course they should be as cryptical as needed, and also each company is responsible of the users that have access to their company account. So of course it's important to add only users inside your company, not outside people.
Then the next question is, do you know when the invitation email will be sent out? Yes, it will be sent out this week, and it should be with you latest Friday. And as we said earlier here, if you haven't received it, please contact your daily sourcing contact, the commodity manager, or I would say check your junk mail box as well, so it hasn't got stuck into that one. The third question so far is should we appoint an administrator? And this, I guess, depends on what you mean a little bit with administrator, but the invitation will be sent to one person, which is normally the sales contact that we have in our system. And that one will be linked as an admin. And then, of course, you can change that later on if you want to appoint a specific one. But I would kind of recommend that whoever runs this is normally the ones that runs this through the platform as well. So if there is a dedicated person running the PPAP submissions to Haldex, that person will also be running this into the platform. And same goes for the APs and the normal relation as well, through which I would assume goes to the sales contact in your company. Is this platform for Haldex Europe or global, for example, Haldex China? So in this case, we will run it now for Haldex Hungary and Haldex Landskrona. So that means deliveries that are made to Haldex Hungary and Haldex Landskrona. That's where we run the pilot, and then Haldex China is the next step.
Yes, there is two more questions now released.
Yeah. Will you activate also offers and orders section in the portal? If yes, when? This is not activated right now. Orders with this one, I assume only that refers to the EDI transfers and those potential within the system, and that's not part of the pilot. Offers, that one I would assume is relating to how to send in offers. And that goes as if it goes as a communication, Annie, is that correct? Then it will be doable, but that I'll let you answer that one, Annie.
Yeah, this offers is highly related to our second application, offer requests. So basically the process with those two applications are handled like customer will send offer request, and you as a supplier, you are able to answer that request by making your offer based on that offer request. So Jarmatti, you can correct me, but I would say that this offers functionality is tightly related to that offer request. So it's kind of like a process. So offers application is not used that much individually, but together with offer requests application.
Yes, that's correct. In the beginning now that these applications are not implemented, but of course if Haldex decides to start to use those, so Haldex will inform you that those applications or some else application in Jakamo will be started to use. But now we start with the claims engineering chains and master data applications.
And the last question so far, will this presentation be sent out to the attendees? I would say it's going to be available here in the meeting chat. And then if you need it, please feel free to reach out to us and we can share it. You will also have a list, I guess, here of all the attendees, Annie, so we have that available to be sent out if needs to be.
Yes, it's possible. This trainee has been recorded, and we can absolutely provide this record for you after this webinar. So maybe it would be good to contact us so we can share that recording. Or how do you see, David?
Yes, please share it in the team chat here as well for everyone.
Okay, I cannot see any more questions. Of course, if there is something that comes to your mind after this webinar, you are feel free to contact any of us.
Okay, then if there aren't any other questions, I'd like to thank everyone for your interest and participation today, and we're looking forward here to take this next step on doing one step of the digitalization within the SAF Holland Haldex supply chain here. So looking forward to see where this will bring us and make sure we get a better or more visual and transparency of the data between or within the supply chain. So thank you all for today, and I hope you have a good day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.